If you clicked on this video, you probably struggle to answer this question: what villagers should I choose for my theme? And I don't blame you. With 391 options to choose from, it can be overwhelming. So that's why I'm here. In this video, I'll be giving you my own personal suggestions for villagers you should go hunting for based off of your theme. But some quick notes before we get started. These are my own personal opinions and recommendations and what villagers I think work the best for each theme. So don't get mad at me if I put Lily in Fairycore and not Kidcore or something. If you disagree with me, feel free to let me know your own villager recommendations in the comments. Some villagers fit into many themes, of course. Villagers are not bound to only one theme or anything at all, so if you see some repeats, it means I truly believe they can work for any theme that I put them under. Don't forget to look at house exteriors if you care about that. For my suggestions, I'm basing everything off of the villagers and how they look themselves, not taking into account what their houses look like, but I will be giving you some tips for each theme if you do care about the exteriors. And lastly, but most importantly, there are no rules. It's your game. You can invite any villagers you want. You don't have to listen to me whatsoever. You don't have to take my word for it. These are simply my suggestions. Play however you want. But if you would like to hear my suggestions, then just keep watching. Here are the themes that I will be giving villager suggestions for. If you don't see one here that you would like suggestions for, let me know in the comments and I would be so happy to make a part 2. So first, let's get into arguably the most popular island aesthetic, which is cottagecore. I want to touch on how I figure out what species I would like to have. So I like to imagine little scenarios. So for cottagecore, I would imagine little squirrels scurrying through the trees, deer frolicking in the woods, ducks swimming in little ponds, all that kind of stuff. Try to imagine real world scenarios that relate to your theme and use that as a guide to help you pick out villager species. So for this video and for the sake of time, I decided to make these little graphics instead of showing you the villagers one by one individually. So you can go ahead and just screenshot these if you want and just leave, bye. But if you would like to hear me talk about it a little bit more, then stick around. I'll touch on a few of my choices and explanations and give some extra little tips here and there. So let's talk about cottagecore. Let's go over my little notes here. So for colors of like villagers and the houses and the vibe you should go for, I would recommend neutrals like white, gray, brown, beige, black, warm colors like orange and red, and then more muted or natural shades of green. And of course you can see in some of these already I have some little pops of yellow. So yeah, those are the colors I would kind of stick to. And for house exteriors, I feel like ones with a brick exterior or like wood or straw or like a log cabin, they kind of have like a cottagecore, cottagey feel and would look really cute amongst, you know, a forest of trees and all that good stuff. So that's what I would look for, and also look for those same colors that I mentioned earlier in the house exteriors. And then earlier I did mention some species, but squirrels, deer, horses, frogs, ducks, dogs, those are all like cottagecore animals that I think of. Of course, you're not limited to only those animals. You can invite whoever the heck you want onto your island. You can have unicorns on your cottagecore island. For all I care, it's your island. But I would recommend these. These are the villagers I think have the most cottagecore feel to them. Of course, you can see many favorites, many typical cottagecore villagers. We got Maple, we have Shep, we have Dom. Dom, honestly, he fits in like a lot of themes. You could put Dom anywhere and he looks good. Same thing with Marshall. So invite those bad boys if you love them. And I just want to touch on Winnie for a second. I'm in love with Winnie for some reason. After making this video, I want Winnie so bad. I think she works perfectly for cottagecore. I love her little star. She is so underrated. Can we please get some Winnie love today here on this YouTube video? Thank you. And also, the reason I divide them up by personality is that I know some people, including myself for a while, wanted one of each personality. So I wanted to give you little pools of options that you could pick from. So if you're doing cottagecore and really you only need a lazy, like you haven't found your cottagecore lazy yet, here's your little circle of lazies and you can just pick from there. But yeah, this is who I recommend for cottagecore villagers. I tried to also include some underrated little homies in there, some people I don't see often, and of course the most popular typical cottagecore faves. So yeah. Now let's move on to Fairycore, which is the theme that I have on my island. So these are my picks for Fairycore. Go ahead and screenshot this if you want to. You'll see a lot of my villagers here. A lot of the ones that I have on my island, of course, and some other ones that I think would fit really well. As you can see, I kind of struggled for Sisterly and Cranky. I feel like there's not really too many options. I don't even have a Sisterly or a Cranky on my island right now, so since I feel like we don't really have that many magical looking villagers physically, like Julian is like literally a unicorn, like the most Fairycore villager there is. There's not really anything else magical like that. We're really going to be focusing on the colors of the villagers, so pinks, purples, white, pastels. There's a lot of blues on here, which I didn't include, but blue works too. If you're doing a mostly pink kind of Fairycore vibe, then just go with all the pink people that you can find. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, we're gonna look at a lot of like pastels and just like very colorful, I feel like works for Fairycore. And a lot of these can overlap with Kidcore as well, like the lazies, those could all be Kidcore, honestly. But aside from unicorns, horses also work. They're a close second to unicorns. Frogs, like frogs jumping around in their little ponds, ducks swimming around, mice and squirrels, kind of like a Disney type of feel, you know, like the little sidekicks in Disney movies. I feel like that also works with Fairycore. Those kinds of species. And then for house exteriors, if you do care about that, you want to look for lighter colors. Avoid the dark colors because it's not going to blend in well with all your beautiful pinks and pastels. And then also look for villagers that have white or pink houses. If they have like a white trim, that works perfect too. That will look really nice. And then another thing that I also look for are these little like twinkly, sparkly, pretty eyes that some of these villagers have. So like Dom, Marcy, Chevra, Cookie, Cleo, they all have like those starry eyes. Also Judy. And they're very like magical looking, so I feel like they fit really well in Fairycore, and just on their eyes alone I would just immediately snatch them. I feel like they go perfectly. And this might be personal bias, but I love villagers who have little pink round cheeks. Just mwah. Their little cheeks, they're so cute. They make me want to squish them. And for some reason, I feel like that goes really well with Fairycore. I don't know. Maybe it's just the pink. Again, maybe it's just me being biased because I love the little round blushy cheeks. But I feel like those are also a good little feature to look for. So these are my Fairycore suggestions. I have a good chunk of these on my island. So I hope this helped you. And now let's move on to my future aesthetic, which is Kidcore. So I would say Kidcore is my second favorite aesthetic. That is what I'm going to do next on my next island, and I really, really love it. So basically for colors, we're going to be looking at, of course, bright colors, primary colors. I would suggest like solid bright colors. I feel like solids look the nicest, but there's a couple in here that have like kind of patterns to them and they look really cute as well. I also feel like smaller villagers are really, really adorable for Kidcore. So like ducks, squirrels, hamsters, all of the littler villagers, they're just so cute and I feel like they work perfectly. And then if you care about the villager houses, you want to look for, of course, brightly colored houses and try to avoid wood colors and neutrals. I feel like those don't really go together unless you're doing kind of like a foresty vibe, and I guess it could work. But I would just recommend, if you're going to do a Kidcore type of island, Kidcore decorations everywhere, I would go for houses that match the same colors. So for Kidcore, I feel like you have a lot of options because you can basically choose villagers that are just any color of the rainbow and make it work. I also really like villagers that have like some sort of clothing going on their head. So like Rod has his little scarf, Kit Kat has his little helmet going on, Mira has the mask, and Penelope has her little bow slash ears slash is she okay? And speaking of Kit Kat, I also feel like any of the superhero villagers work. That's very, very cute, and it feels like they're kind of like playing dress up, which matches with the Kidcore theme. So any of those really work. You could pick any of them, but I only put Kit Kat on there just to save some space. And let me just give a quick shout out to some underrated villagers here. Can we please talk about Chatter? He is so cute. I want him. Cody is really cute. Cousteau, I know he's not like everyone's favorite, but look at his little face. Look at his little face. He is so cute. And Willow, who I will be getting for sure on my Kidcore island. Willow is so adorable. I highly recommend all of those and all of these villagers that are up on the screen for you. So once again, screenshot this if you want. And those are my Kidcore recommendations. Next up, we have a more natural looking aesthetic, which is Junglecore. So before we get into Junglecore, I need to give a shout out to my girl Tiger. She has a beautiful, stunning Junglecore island called Java. So if you need any Junglecore tips, any Junglecore inspo, Tiger's got your back. So head on over to her channel if you're looking for that. And in the meantime, I'll go over what I think would be some cute Junglecore baddies. So for jungle villagers, you're gonna want to look for neutral colors, green, kind of just like whatever natural color like the IRL animal is. Like if you're looking at frogs, you want to go for green frogs, and don't get Puddles, who's just a straight up pink frog, unless you really want to. I'm not stopping you, do whatever you want, but I would say go for natural colors and like greens and like muted colors. And then for species, of course, go for all the jungle animals. So we're talking elephants, we're talking monkeys, we're talking frogs, I think, tigers. I don't know all the villagers that live in the jungle. I'm not an expert on jungle animals, but I would also say you can go for villagers that have a jungle vibe, even though they don't necessarily live in the jungle IRL. Like Savannah, she is a zebra, and I know zebras don't live in the jungle IRL. They live on like grassy plains and stuff like that. So she does not live in the jungle, but she is so cute, and she's just like a little zebra, and I feel like she fits perfectly, just like with the vibe. I know she doesn't live in the jungle in real life, but I feel like she could still fit. Same thing with some of these birds. You can go for like birds of paradise type of feel with like Phil and Julia and Phoebe. They might not necessarily live in the jungle, you know, they're technical species in real life, but whatever, it's Animal Crossing, who cares? Oh, and I also included Kiki because panthers live in the jungle, and I figured Kiki could be like a panther stand-in. You know, she's like got that panther vibe, so that's why I put Kiki. So yeah, that is my Junglecore recommendations if you're doing that aesthetic on your island. Hope you found that helpful. Next, we're going to talk about Farmcore, which is pretty self-explanatory. So I don't really see Farmcore themed islands that much, but I feel like I need to see more of them because I do love farm animals, and I just feel like it's so cute. So for Farmcore, of course, we're looking for farm animals. We're looking for pigs, goats, cows, what else? Rams, ducks, chickens. And I also added that you can squeeze in a cat or a dog or two as like the farmer's pet. You can definitely get in some more variety of villager species there. And for exteriors, you're gonna want ones that kind of remind you of like a barn. So if there's any red ones with a white trim, I would get on that real quick. But if not, just look for brick, wood, straw. The straw houses look really cute, like the ones with the straw roofs. And then for Farmcore, you're gonna want to look for the most basic, boring villagers. Sucks to say it, but you're gonna want to look for the ones that just look the most natural, quote unquote. So the most basic pigs, the most basic chickens. You're gonna add those for your Farmcore island. Of course, if you're going for like a different vibe, like you're going for like a colorful Farmcore or something, definitely go crazy, invite whoever. But if you're going for like standard vanilla old MacDonald had a farm vibe, I would say pick, you know, the most boring basic ones. So I hope this was helpful to probably the 5 of you who have a Farmcore island. But if you like this aesthetic, hey, consider it. I want to see some more farms. I'm kind of thinking after my Kidcore island, I might want to do Farmcore because this is really speaking to me, you know? Next, we're going to be talking about Gothcore. So these villagers can also work for spooky Halloween islands, anything like punk, goth, spooky, dark, all that kind of stuff. I know they're not all exactly the same, but they're all similar enough, and I feel like these villagers could work for all of them. So of course you're going to be wanting to look for dark colors on the villagers, so black, red, and purple. I also have some white ones that I feel like really work too, and I'll talk about those specifically. And then of course, if you care about exteriors, pay attention to just literally if it's light or dark. I feel like it can be any color as long as it's a darker color to fit with like the mysterious vibe, spooky vibe on the island. So that's really all that I would personally look for in exteriors. So all of these are pretty self-explanatory. Walker is kind of like an odd one. I feel like he's just kind of creepy. Like, that's just my personal opinion. When I look at him, he reminds me of like the 50s, but like the creepy part of the 50s. For some reason, I don't know. He just kind of freaks me out, so I put him in Gothcore. I put Coco because some people find her scary with her empty, soulless eyes, so she can work. If you put Coco in the dark, in the woods, in front of me, I'm running the opposite way, believe me. And then I feel like Opal is super underrated. She gives off goth girl vibes to me. Like, I know she's a closeted goth, I just know it. Put her on your Gothcore island. I'm sure she will surprise you. And then similar to Coco, I kind of put Ruby in there because I feel like Ruby's red eyes could freak people out, and again, if you put Ruby in the woods, in the dark, and all I see are her little red eyes peeking out of a bush, I'm sprinting the opposite way. It's just the facts. And then I guess I'll go over all the peppies in here. Bella is a punk queen, and why is no one talking about her? She's one of like the 2 mice that I actually like, so she's super, super cute, and I feel like she fits really well with this overall aesthetic. And Winnie, she's not really like goth or like punky or spooky, but for some reason that little star on her head, if you connect all the points together, they make a pentagram, just saying. But yeah, I don't know why, she just kind of gave me the Gothcore vibes also, so just, I don't know, invite her if you would like to. And then yeah, the rest are pretty self-explanatory, but these are my Gothcore or Spookycore recommendations, suggestions. I hope that helps you out a little bit. So that's gonna wrap up my suggestions for villagers that you should go look for based on what theme you have. I really, really hope this helped. I've put a lot of work into this video. This video has taken me at least 3 times as long as my normal videos, so I really hope you enjoyed it and you felt like you got something valuable out of it. Don't forget to give the video a like. It'll really help me out and I'll appreciate it since I did spend so much time on it. And if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. Normally I don't post videos like this. I will post let's plays and decorating videos and speed builds, but I will occasionally pepper in an informational video like this one here and there. If you would like to see a part 2 with more themes, feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments. I would love to do a part 2. Just let me know which themes you would like to see. I think I covered the most popular ones, but like I said, I would love to do more. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my socials, all linked below in the description, and I will see you in the next one.